and they downloaded my database. So they had all my leads. They had my leads, they had my best talent, and it practically knocked me out of business. So I'm on track to do, have $1 million a year and doing all these big seminars. And now I'm down to one staff member. I went from 20 to 1. And I went back and worked from home. I was in this really beautiful office in San Diego. I had personally guaranteed the office for 3 years at like $2,500 a month. I had to break the lease. I had 2.5 years left on the lease. And I personally guaranteed oh my God, it was terrible. It was really rough. I had creditors calling me. I was married to my first wife at the time. She was pissed off. So my wife's pissed off. I'm feeling betrayed. I'm having money problems. I mean, I'm getting hit every way you can get hit. And I cannot get out of bed. I'm in a depressed state. I can't get out of bed. I have to go out and sell. I can't get myself to sell. I can't even get out of bed, let alone sell. And this went on for a period of time. And one day this thought popped into my head, which I'll put on the screen here. It's kind of like Create Revenue now. It's a hybrid of it. Focus on revenue producing activities. So what I started doing was this during the workday. So metaphorically, when I'd leave the house, I'd take my wife problems and my money problems and the credit problems and the shame of shutting my office down and the embarrassment and all of that. And I just park it at the front door. I'd walk out the front door and I would go be focused on revenue producing activities. Now, at that point, I'm still running Eric Offham International, same company that you're here with me right now. So I'm out seeing clients, right? Motivating people. My whole world's falling apart. But somehow I just parked those problems at the front door and I walked out and I was just powerfully showing up for clients, doing the things that create revenue, which is, in my case, generate leads, set appointments, run sales calls. So I started being focused on revenue producing activities. And I didn't know anything about being back then, but I was being this. And I turned it all around. And I never dealt with the betrayal and all that as far as going to a therapist or something. Nothing wrong with that. And I'm not opposed to that. But what I did, I just started being focused on revenue producing activities. And the money started coming in. And then when I rebuilt my company, I was like, I'm not happy that that happened, but I'm thankful for the lessons. I'm thankful for the mental toughness. I'm thankful for the resiliency. It made me a better coach. It made me a better speaker. So this mindset, I never read it in a book. I lived it. So this could be one of your 10 best ideas of the class. If you ever really get in a jam, Kirsten was sharing, without getting into too much detail, she was, being vulnerable with us and, hey, some things happened. And she's like, hey, everything's turning around. I loved hearing her bounce back story. It's beautiful, right? And she was being, in her own way, focusing on revenue producing activities, whatever it takes, right? And then boom, things started going up for her. So this is with what you're learning about being, and this idea, again, it's a hybrid of Create Revenue Now. What are my revenue producing activities? And I want to just remind you, we're not going down the rabbit hole. Okay, we're not going to go down the rabbit hole of LinkedIn and AI, and occasionally if you want to, do that kind of thing, but use Create Revenue Now as the place you're coming from and going out and using the AI and the scripting and the LinkedIn and the virtual assistant, use those tools from the place of driving revenue. So what we're going to do now, we are going to take our break here for afternoon. Let me put on the screen here. We'll come back at 1:40. Okay, so be back at 1:40, and then we're going to get into some cool AI stuff. And I've got some other additional create revenue now, and then we'll go through the 80/20 of the day, the best ideas that you learned today. We'll pick the top two, and we'll give you an opportunity to share that if you like. So let's take a break, and I'll see you back here at 1:40. All righty, welcome back. We are in the home stretch, and we are gonna take a look at some AI ideas. And let me pull up my notes here. So the first thing that I want to share with you, we're talking about this idea of being in a position to come from. And it's coming from creating revenue now. In this case, so CRN, acronym for create revenue now, creating revenue now with AI. So we can go down the rabbit hole in a big way. Come here, Charlie. We can go down the rabbit hole with AI and just, spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. But I don't want you to do that. I want you to look for ways to have the AI help you. And I'm gonna show you some concepts. And the way I see it, I will be studying AI for the rest of my life. So I learned how to type in 7th and 8th grade, never taken a typing class since, almost certainly never will. Sales, I've been studying since the 90s, and I'll continue to study sales for the rest of my life. Started learning it 3.5 years ago, will most likely study being for the rest of my life. It's my intention. And AI will be included in that. So what I will do for the rest of my lifetime, I have no vision to retire, is work on my sales, work on my being, and now work on my AI. And so the way I look at it, it's learning how to like get your mind to think with the AI, including the AI, looking for practical ways for the AI to help you. And I want to show you an example of a woman named Laurel Langmeyer. Some of you know that name, some of you may not. I've done a fair amount of business with Laurel through the years. And I was having lunch with somebody that does business with Laurel currently. And I haven't done anything with Laurel in many years. And he's like, Eric, you know who's really just doing incredible right now? And I go, who? He goes, Laurel Langmeyer. And I go, really? Haven't heard that name in a while. He goes, yeah, her business is just taking off. And he said what she's been doing is short form content. So this is TikTok. And this is an example of what they call short form content. So there's a certain style to the video. It's like the long way. It's like skinny and long. And this content of this style is on YouTube under YouTube Shorts. So if we go to YouTube and you go under Shorts, right? And these are all short form content. And then it's on Instagram Reels and it's on Facebook Reels and maybe some other platforms as well. And so I was like, okay, well, what's the secret sauce? How is she doing it? And if you look at her TikTok here, she has 940,000 subscribers, almost 1 million. And he said what she's doing is she's creating content that teaches people how to save money on their taxes. Now, if you think about it logically, who needs to save money on their taxes? people that are making a lot of money that have a tax problem. So she's drawing people to her through the short form content, and they're then, doing her programs. So you go, Eric, you lost me. This is TikTok and she's helping people with their taxes. What does that have to do with AI? Well, these videos are being created with AI. And the guy that's her social media person, apparently it's only taking him a couple of hours a week to take these videos and have them blow up. And he's using software, and I'm going to show you the software because I'm now using it myself. One of the softwares is called Opus Clip. I'll put that in the chat. So what this allows you to do is take a video like what I'm doing right now, right? This is going to end up being like a 5-hour Zoom recording. So you take the 5-hour Zoom recording and you dump it into Opus Clip, and then it cuts it up for you. And it creates short form content like this. One of you on this call, you're going to say, Eric, I did it. $100,000 deal. Boom. One deal. Now, we're brand new to this, so I'm not going to suggest like this is like a brilliant clip that's going to get a ton of views. But look at what this does. You get the clip done, you hit publish on social, and you just check mark the boxes of which platform. So it's like, okay, I want Facebook. Yep. Oh, I don't want LinkedIn. I want TikTok. I don't want X. I want YouTube. Publish. Boom. And then it's going to go publish it. And so I was teaching this to a title insurance rep. And in her market, there's probably nobody in title insurance that is doing short form video content. So she does Zooms like what I'm doing with all of you right now. She could take that Zoom, she could put into a software like this, she can get a couple good pieces of content, and she literally, if she wanted to, who she could be is the most published content provider of title in her community. And I think she can triple her sales. So I'm not telling you to do short form content. What I'm suggesting, I'm not telling you to do it, I'm not telling you not to do it. It's more about where can the AI help you? Because my capacity right now, once we get this a little further along, we could probably publish 100 pieces of content a week. And if we did that, let me just see what this one looks like here. That one's got the PowerPoint as well. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is that I'm working with the VA. I'm sending him the content. He's working with the AI. So this is an interesting idea to think about. The other software I'm using for video is HeyGen.